Hey everyone, this video is going to cover slides 30 through 32 on Cincinnati history and government. We are almost done talking about Cincinnati history and will soon be moving into Cincinnati government. This slide is about Cincinnati in the 20th century. If you look at this picture, you should recognize this. It is the Museum Center, also known as Union Terminal. During World War I and II, Cincinnati served the country by providing supplies, troops, and money via war bonds. During World War II, many companies shifted their production to wartime products and services. So, for example, people that made dresses now made parachutes. Union Terminal was built in 1933 to simplify train transport in and out of the city. Union Terminal, when it was built, was only designed to be a train station. In World War II, many people went through Union Terminal on their way to support the war effort. So lots of people in Cincinnati, lots of older people, remember Union Terminal as a place where they said goodbye or welcomed back people who went off to fight wars. This photo shows Union Terminal in 2019, right after it was renovated. And just as a reminder, we call it the Museum Center because it houses the Museum of History, the Museum of Science, and the Cincinnati Children's Museum, as well as any other exhibits that might be coming through. Now, Cincinnati's population peaked in 1950 at 503,000 residents and has declined ever since. The popularity of the automobile and the construction of interstate highways encouraged people to move out to suburbs and outlying areas. The construction of interstates like I-75 forever changed many parts of Cincinnati. For example, Kenyon Bar was a neighborhood that was destroyed to make way for I-75, and Camp Washington is a neighborhood that has been divided and changed because the expressway goes right through it, and a lot of buildings had to be torn down. This picture on the right, as many of you probably know, is the view of Cincinnati when you're coming to Cincinnati from the south. We call this part of Kentucky the cut in the hill, and you tend to hear this a lot on the traffic radio or the traffic cam because this is where a lot of traffic jams will be. This is where I-71 and I-75 North both come together and head into Cincinnati. Now, let's talk about sports in the mid-20th century to the 21st century today. The Cincinnati Bengals were created in 1968. They appeared in the 1981 and 1988 Super Bowls, and unfortunately, they lost both of them, so they have never won a Super Bowl. The Cincinnati Reds, if you remember, were the first professional baseball team going way back to the 1860s. But then the big red machine of the 1970s dominated the National League and won 2 World Series. The Reds also won the World Series in 1990. Those aren't the only World Series that the Reds have won, but those are the World Series they've won recently. And FC Cincinnati joined the MLS in 2018. They are currently building a new stadium in the city's West End neighborhood. So right now, Cincinnati has 3 professional major league sports teams. There are a few other professional teams around, like we have the Cyclones, but they don't play for the major league. They don't play for the major hockey league, NHL. Now, the Big Red Machine over here on the right included players like Johnny Bench, Tony Perez, Joe Morgan, and Pete Rose, amongst others, including the manager Sparky Anderson. And if you go down to the Great American Ballpark, baseball stadium, these are the guys you'll see their statues right around the front of the park. Okay, folks, that's it for today. Use that information to answer the questions, and good luck.